Come, sit down and listen. I have a story you should hear about two darling children in their pastime that I fear suffered some setbacks, some hurdles and blunders. How they'll rise above him is one of the world's wonders. The children you see were the regular sort, were often quite giddy with occasional snort. They marveled at buzzes, the beeps and the pops, the electrical gizmos they thought were the tops. Then all of a sudden things went right off wrong. A blackout wiped their Hannah Montana video game song. It silenced their play and left them in dark. All that they heard was a bleak, far-off bark. The children were shocked and amazed on occasion, but this was quite different. Was this indignation? For the blackout was swift and all unprovoked. It caught them mid-course, as if they just joked. Confused by the blackout and the loss of their game, the children accused one another and dished out the blame. "It was your harmony," the one said to the other. "Ah, it was your poorly kept rhythm. I'm telling your mother." When the bickering and squabbling were leading them apart, they gave up the anger and called a fresh start. With both heads together, to double their smarts, they resolved to find out the extent of the darks. They grabbed an old gizmo, once powered by battery. They tuned in to listen. The announcer said without flattery, "The mischievous, quirky, old salt Dr. Green has succeeded at last with his plans all to screen out the trains and great tankers that deliver the coal to the flower plant's buzz, which was causing a toll." "So no coal," said the announcer in a beleaguered way, was the reason for darkness this particular day. "No coal," said the children in quizzical wonder. "But what about Hannah Montana and the tropical thunder?" And try as they might just to summon a flicker by pounding and prodding that old TV clicker and checking the plug-in just to see if it's flawed for wires disconnected for electrical fraud. So the TV and Xbox were certainly dead, and the words the announcers had begrudgingly said rang in the ears of the children, and now they could see how the shortage of coal had affected their glee. But one child piped up and proclaimed in delight, "Our electrical problem, the end is in sight." "Why, what do you mean?" the other child inquired. "How do we get ourselves back up and wired? We just need new source of this power or juice, since coal we no longer can make of its use." "A windmill. You've got it. You're a genius, I see. We'll harness the wind and we'll use it for free." With great zeal and gusto, the pair had constructed a miniature wind farm with power conducted for use in wonderful myriad of ways for Hannah Montana for the rest of their days. With the power back on, the children, so contrary, saw their time in the dark was just temporary. Their rock band will live on, their days of great glory, their toys are alive and the children are merry. But not all is well in this electrical haven. The children, you see, have great electrical craving. For the toys were one issue they could fix with their wind farm, but what about toast, cold pop, without harm? For this added dimension would require some thinking, for a full life with warm egos, clean clothes, and pop drinking. To figure out best how to use the electrical supply, they called in the big guns from this little guy. To tell them the drain on their electrical current, they plug in the meter to show what works and what shouldn't. So the toast they can have it, and the clean clothes, oh, that too. But dear Hannah Montana, I'm afraid that it's true. That electrical rock band and TVs and more can be used with great pleasure, but please keep in store that children's electrical usage which no one really denies. With many demands, they must prioritize. Convinced that their plan can have broader appeal, the children make plans for not to conceal their intentions to market or offer up freely this plan to the bigwigs at NSP, really. So now with their wind farm and the children both happy, they still play their rock band, but not quite so zappy. Now they're into a new gig, the wide world of pop polka, and the critics agree, this ain't Vida Loca.